The ing
දයාවර දූ දරුවනි ඔබේ ඉංග්‍රීසි දැනුම වැඩි දියුණු කිරීම සඳහා අපි ඔබට අත දෙන්නෙමු. ඔබ සඳහාම සකසා ඇති මේ සරල ඉංග්‍රීසි පාඩම් මාලාව තුලින් ඔබේ දැනුම තවත් වැඩි කරගන්න. ලෝකයේ අනෙකුත් රටවල් සමග අත්වැල් බැඳ ගන්න අපි ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් කතා කරමු.
You have a bicycle. You have some eggs. You don't have any bread. 3 different sentences. One had a in it, the other had some in it, and the last had any. These words indicate quantity, that is, how much of something do you have. So if you say, I have a bicycle, you're saying you have 1 bicycle. When you say some eggs, you mean you have a few. Maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe even 10 eggs. I have some eggs. And when you say, I don't have any bread, what you're saying is, not even 1 loaf of bread. I don't have any bread. So these are interesting expressions that you would want to learn and practice and use in everyday speech. And so too we have expressions that we use to indicate quantity or numbers. For instance, we might say, there are lots of elephants in the jungles of Sri Lanka. There aren't any elephants in the North Pole. It's too cold for them, not even 1 elephant. So there we say, there aren't any elephants in the North Pole. Can you think of other expressions to indicate quantities? I'm sure you can. There are lots of coconuts in this pile. So you have a pile of coconuts and you say, there are lots of coconuts. But there aren't any jackfruit. No jackfruit at all. So we, with the use of those expressions, indicate quantities. So can you think of different ways now of expressing quantities? Maybe you can look at some of these pictures and maybe count or give the idea of there being the 1, more than 1, a very large number, or none at all. Enjoy the exercise, and after that, listen and watch very carefully to what follows, and then you're going to learn a lot more about how you're going to use these expressions in your everyday speech. So, enjoy.
Hi. Today I'm going to teach you how to use count and non-count nouns to talk about quantity. Some examples of count nouns are, we've got a lot of onions. See, because onions are things that you can count. You can say you have 1, 2, 3, 4 onions. Or you can say we've got some tomatoes. We've got a lime. We haven't got many eggs. Because again, eggs are things you can count. You can say we haven't got any beans. The question form, how many apples have we got? Now some examples of non-count nouns. Take a look at this. We've got a lot of sugar. You can't count sugar, can you? So that's why it falls into the non-count noun category. We can say we've got some bread. Again, you're not sure of the quantity. We haven't got much rice. We haven't got any lime juice. How much oil have we got? Those were all examples of non-count nouns. So how can we say the same thing using there is and there are instead of the have got. Look at this example. There is a lot of sugar. There is, when contracted, becomes there's. So, there's a lot of sugar. Or you can say, there are a lot of onions. There is a singular form of the verb, and there are, because it's plural. What about using the words very few and very little? You can say, there are very few biscuits. There's very little milk. Very few students arrived on time. Now, there's another way of talking about quantity. You can use the words too much and too many. How many times has your mother told you, you watch too much TV? You can say, she reads too many magazines, or they eat too much chocolate. These are examples of how to use too much and too many. So, what do you do when you don't have enough of something? For example, I'd love to buy a new bike, but I don't have enough money. I want to make coconut toffee, but I don't have enough sugar. I would love to watch TV, but I don't have enough time.
Well, let's think of some phrases then, before we say goodbye. In fact, that's the phrase. 2 words, in fact, but together, in fact. Well, what do we mean by that term? Well, you know how people say actually, meaning this is what I really mean to say? Well, in fact, that is what they're trying to say. You could be asked a question. Is it this or that which you like? And you could think about it and say, in fact, I like this one. You have made your choice. You have good reason to make that choice. You know this is a good choice. And therefore you say, well, in fact, this is what I prefer. Then 2 people have been responsible for some work that has been done. Maybe a construction of a wall or something like that. So you could then ask the 2 persons, was it you? Talking to one of them at a time. Was it you who built this wall? And that person could say, well, in fact, it was the both of us. So the real situation is expressed by using the term in fact. And the other word is rubbish. You would need to consult your dictionary to get the real meaning of that. Rubbish. You see, rubbish has almost the same idea as garbage. But also we use the term rubbish to refer to words that may have been spoken or written about which we are not at all pleased. Then those words that have been spoken we refer to as rubbish. Or that which has been written in the newspaper or in printed form about something which you know is not true, you might say, rather than it is a lie, you could say it's rubbish, meaning it is not worth the paper it is printed on. Rubbish. So that's also a good word. But as I have suggested, it would be a very good idea if you were to refer your dictionary to get the accurate meaning and then begin to use those words in your everyday speech. You'll enjoy it. Well, goodbye then.